Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my new video. Avoid enemy ganks, tracking the enemy jungler, and warding. Alright, effective warding. So let's pretend that we are starting as a blue side here. We are blue side. We want to know where the enemy jungler is starting. And an easy way of finding this out is to look at the minimap, and let's say that the top laner is pushing the wave together with the minions, and the bot lane is missing in action. This means that it is a really good indicator that the enemy jungler is starting at the blue buff, since he's getting the pull from his bottom lane. If it's the other way around, he's probably starting at the top side and doing the red buff and getting the pull from the top laner. Now, before we start with the laning phase, it is important that you have actually warded this pixel brush, it's called, at 120. So let's type it in here. 120, this word goes in here. This is a really good indicator later on, after the jungler takes his first buff, to see where he's going to path into, right? And which buff he actually took, since the enemy team might actually fool you and he's starting at the top side. Alright, so let's start with the enemy jungler taking his first buff. So what most people do is they either go towards the top scuttle crab, or they go to the bottom side scuttle. So if they go for the bottom side scuttle, they take another camp since it has not spawned by the time they take the blue buff. And yeah, they take this grump probably, and then make their way down to the scuttle crab. Now this is where your pixel brush is really important, and it comes really handy. This is most likely going to give you a vision onto the jungler, since the scuttle crab moves randomly around, and 90% of the times, in lower elo especially, they don't really care and they get spotted by this ward. This means for you as a team that the enemy jungler is going to do a bottom to top side clear. What does that mean? This means that he takes a scuttle crab, goes to the wolves, and basically does a full clear, goes for the red buff and Crux. So this is a really effective way of clearing the jungle, and the enemy jungler arrives at the top lane. I mean, at 4:15 approximately. This is about to change. Every jungler clears differently fast, and not everybody clears at the same speed. So these numbers that I give you right now, they're not. You should actually try to think about. Is that jungler a fast clearing jungler, or does he take a little bit more time? Now, why is that important for you? It is really important for you that around this time, first of all, you have to be careful when he takes a scuttle crab here. This means that you should not be pushing over this lane here, since this is gonna make you really vulnerable to ganks. Even if he's level 2, he can just come bot lane and make you flash away or something. This means that if you see him going for this bottom side crab, and your jungler is not going there to contest it, you actually have to play defensive. Go to your safe zone, which is around here. The closest to your turret, the better. Now, if your jungler wants to contest the crab, of course it's better to push and help your jungler out. Now, after 4 minutes and 15 seconds, the enemy jungler recalls to the base and comes back to his bottom side. Now, we mentioned that the camps take 2.5 minutes to respawn. This means that he probably took this camp at 2 minutes, the crump. It will be up at 4:30 again. So at 4:30, this camp is going to be up again. This means that the enemy jungler is 100% surely going to be here, since this is the only camp that he can take right now. Everything else is down. He will be here. This means that we, as a bot side, have to get wards up. Otherwise, we are in danger of getting ganked. And really good wards, this scenario, is that you put one over here, and that you put one into this pixel brush again. So this one is really effective, but it's not the most practical one, since it's really far away from the bottom lane, and you have to walk a long distance in order to get that. Another option is to get this word over here and the dragon. Now, this word, I'm gonna get into this real quick. This is really important because of the blasting cone. The enemy jungler will be spotted taking the blasting cone. This gives you an early warning again. Oftentimes people mention that the word between the grump and the blue buff is better. The risk here is that if you're pushing the wave into the turret, the enemy jungler might actually come directly, take the blasting cone, and be behind you without you spotting him, right? We don't want to give him any opportunity of not being spotted. This means that this ward right here is perfect in order to, you know, not give him any chance of ganking you from here. He has no option other than the lane, and lane ganks are really difficult to pull off. Now let's get to the other ward here. So the dragon ward is really solid as well, since it gives you a really early warning. It's much better to place it at the dragon pit instead of this brush right here, since this gives you much more reaction time to run away. You will spot the enemy jungler much faster, so definitely not a bad thing. However, the problem here is that it does not give you vision into the mid lane, which is, I mean, it's not your job to early game to ward for the mid laner, but it does not ward, it does not cover if he comes from your jungle and goes for you know, a deep road and comes from behind and destroys you. So that's why I think that you know, taking the time warding the pixel is definitely really worth. So this is the early pathing, and if you ward that, you know, the enemy jungle cannot come from anywhere. He cannot gank you without being spotted at the bottom lane, and you also have cover for the mid lane and your jungler. So this is, in my opinion, this is a really effective ward. Yeah, you can only do these kind of wards, or at least that ward over here, if you have pushed the wave in, if your wave is hitting the turret, so you don't lose experience, or not a lot of experience. You have to sacrifice a little bit probably if you go for this ward, but if you push it in, you can definitely go for those wards, and they are really effective. Now, if the enemy top laner starts at the if the enemy jungler starts at the upper side of the map, it is pretty much the other way around, right? So he starts at the top side, does a full clear, and his bot lane at around, what do you say, 415? Oops. Yeah, 415, and from there he can gank either the mid lane or the bottom lane. Alright, now let's get into the other side of the map as a red side. Alright, now that we are starting as a red team, we pretend that the enemy jungler is starting at the red buff again, but with a different pathing this time. After taking his red buff, the enemy jungler goes straight into the skull crab, but you spot it since you have the nicely placed pixel brush. Alright, now that you know this, you have really important information. You know that the jungler rushed up to the topside scuttle. This means that he has not taken any camps here. They are still up, and it's important to understand where he's gonna go after this. So after taking this skull crab, the jungler is gonna go for the blue buff and the grump, which will result in him being level 3 at 3 minutes approximately. Now this is important for you, since if you don't see him on the map, neither the top lane nor the mid lane, it is a good indicator that he's gonna do a full clear, take the wolves, take the race, and then go to the Crocs, take them too, and he's gonna do the full clear and be bot lane again around the I would say 4:15 or 4:30, you know, minute mark. Now, why is this important? It is really important because you will be forced, or you will be advised to place a trinket in here and at the dragon pit. This is really good information for you, really good coverage. Let's type it in again. 4:15. The enemy jungler might be bot lane again if he does this clear, and yeah, if you have this ward coverage, the enemy jungler is not going to be able to gank you without being spotted. Now, if he has done this full clear and he's not able to gank any lane because you have warded and you're really good, you have a really good map awareness, you don't give him a chance to, it is important to know that he's most likely going to go top lane again after recalling. Top lane or mid lane, but he's going to be at the top side jungle of his map, since the bot lane camps have been taken recently and they need 2.5 minutes to respawn. There's nothing to take over here, so being bot lane makes no real sense. The grump has been taking at around 3 minutes, so this means that the grump is going to be up at 5:30. Let's type this in here. 5:30, the jungler is going to be taking the grump, wolves, and do the full clear again up until to the red buff, and then probably look for another gank again. The red buff is going to spawn at, let's say he took it at 2 minutes or a bit earlier. It's going to spawn at 6:30, 6:45. So 6:45, the jungler is going to be looking for the juicy gank at the bot lane again. Now, it's really important to have a good wards. By this time, sometimes the bot lane has recalled already, and the enemy bot lane might have placed pink ward in here. Now, how do you deal with it if you still want to push the lane? Since you know, you could have pushed the lane since you knew that the jungler is at the top side of the map and pressured this turret, get the turret platings. Now, in order to avoid that, what you can do is go over here, go into this dragon pit, and place one ward over here. This is gonna give you really good information about whether or not the jungler wants to come from the red buff directly to your bottom lane. Now, this of course brings the risk of not being able to spot him when he goes for, you know, when he goes for the crux and ganks from the crux. This is something that you have to take. You have to take the hits. But I mean, you will know that he's gonna be around the bot lane at around 6:45. So going to clearing this pink ward here is definitely way too risky. I would not recommend doing this. This ward is a really smooth alternative to that problem. And you know, additionally to that, you can ward over here in the dragon pit, or my favorite, the pixel bush again. This is a really good spot for a pink ward as well, since it gives you really good information, especially for the mid lane as well. And yeah, the enemy jungler cannot take the blasting cone to gank either, since you have this ward over here. In a perfect scenario, you just ward over here as well, clear this pink ward, and if the enemy team has another pink ward to place while you clear it, it's not gonna have any impact, since you have vision set up nicely. Now, I have a video prepared for you guys to see that how this dragon pit ward over here works. Right, in this clip you can see why I think it's important to sometimes do this. The enemy team frequently put a pink ward into this ward, into this brush I mean, and this means that I decided to just skip that brush entirely and just ward over here. We can see right now she's placing a pink ward, so my ward would have been a little bit wasted, and we didn't really feel like fighting for it. As well, as you can see that Kha'Zix is ready here. He would be able to help them out, and it would be a 2v3. So by placing a ward over here, it gives us deep vision, and yeah, we're pretty safe from enemy ganks. Let's fast forward here a little bit until the actual important stuff happens. We get the catch on Morgana. Kimmel is clearing the pink ward right now, but it's not important right now. What is important is that we have the deep vision, and we can actually push without being too afraid of getting ganked and getting surprised by the Kha'Zix. Alright, but what is that? We see the mighty buck coming in right here, trying to catch me while I'm low on HP. We spot this easily. We can peel backwards. As you can see, I'm taking a safe position here. I'm peeling backwards, and yeah, we don't risk dying. The Kha'Zix is definitely trying to get me here. He thinks, alright, he's safe. Let's just waste him. Let's just make him waste time, because he doesn't really believe that he's being spotted by this ward here. But we have actually spotted him really early on. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I could help you out. I think warding is really crucial in League of Legends, and if you do a good job, you're gonna climb the ladder up until Grandmaster. Alright, thank you so much for watching, guys. See you next time.